And welcome to another edition of Completely Unoriginal right here at DakotaBroadcasting.com. I'm Adam St. Paul.
Kurt Campbell here.
Joined by Kurt Campbell as always. And down in Redfield, Tony Zur. Mr. Zur, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, guys.
You probably are on Cloud 9 right now. I saw you got some fan art into your Tubes YouTube channel. That's pretty cool, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Somebody sent a fan of mine sent that in to me this morning, and it was really, really cool. I've known her for a long time and stuff like that, but she's a big fan of the show, and she just did it all of a sudden. It was really, really cool.
That's great.
I was going to say, at the same time, even though you've known her for a long time, she took the time to make that for you. So definitely really cool. Congratulations on that. And hopefully you keep growing your listenership down there. Check out his YouTube page. I always watch it for the movie reviews. I loved his Fantastic Four nonsense review and whatnot because he had to admit that he was wrong, which was fun. But no,
I'm wondering what people would design for us for fan art. You'd be stomping on the Fantastic Four movie,
yes,
somehow in the art.
Very much so.
I would be probably dreaming of Episode 7. I don't know what Tony would be doing, but it would be equally interesting, I'm sure.
So let's talk about big news that just broke today, actually, and I'm reading this from comicbookmovie.com. The Marvel Studios have released what are going to be the quote-unquote teams for the upcoming Civil War film. And I don't know about you guys, but it's a tad underwhelming, and we'll get your ideas on them here in a second, but I just want to read them off for other listeners, and if people don't know, first off, Team Iron Man, which is going to be the pro-registration group. That is Iron Man, Tony Stark, Black Panther, the Vision, also Black Widow, and last but not least, War Machine, Don Cheadle, if you remember, as well. So you got 5 there.
I'm sorry. I have to ask. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. But what pro-registration of what?
Well, if what they're going to go with here is, what the Civil War comic book is, and and they've been building this up to it. There is a giant attack on, I think, New York City in the comic, but either way, a giant attack in the real world, tons of casualties and everything like that, and Tony Stark comes to the conclusion that superheroes are just too dangerous. They can't be just willy-nilly vigilante anymore simply because it's too much in the cost of life. So he is with the government. He, gets a petition going or whatever have you, has people create legislation to register superheroes. And I don't remember exactly how about, if it takes away their powers or, makes them illegal or whatever, but a pro-registration front. Captain America, on the other hand, comes in and says, "Nuh-uh, I lived through Nazi regimes, I lived through Hydra, I know what happens when you put people on pieces of paper and you put them in places and in categories, and I don't like that." And then that's what it is. There's a huge intertwine of philosophies when it comes to superheroes and whatnot.
Well, and the thing I love about that is the gray area for debate, because they both have pros and cons to their point of view.
Exactly.
So that's what's so intriguing about it.
See, I saw something else. I saw that this might totally be a part of the movie, and that'd be awesome. That's a really good story angle. I just don't know the comic, but I heard that it was basically like Captain America was trying to reunite with Bucky, and trying to kind of save him and trying to get him back on the good side and everything, and so that's kind of his group is trying to go out and do that. And then Iron Man's group, they want him gone. Mm-hmm. They think he's just pure evil, and so that's why they team up against each other. But I don't know. That's just
and that might be certainly because they have to streamline the story
could be a subplot.
Yeah, they have to streamline the story to fit into a 2.5-hour movie or whatever it's going to be.
Right.
But I do know. If you've seen Avengers: Age of Ultron. There's a full-on scene that they dedicate several minutes to it that show that Captain America and Iron Man don't get along, and that when they're chopping that wood, when they're on Hawkeye's farm there, and if you rewatch it, there's a lot of undertones and a lot of subtext when it shows how much that relationship is strained after, for instance, and it goes back also to the Winter Soldier in that Captain America is leading, armies with opposite missions of his own, and he can't trust people. So I think you could probably do both. Either way, I don't think you're wrong, and I could be, or I don't know. But continuing on, we also have on pro Captain America side, Captain America. What is it, Hawkman? The Hawk?
Hawkeye.
The Falcon. Falcon. There we go. I'm
Falcon.
sorry.
Oh, the Falcon.
Yes,
okay.
the Falcon. Yes, Hawkeye. Joan Carter, daughter of Peggy Carter.
Oh.
So she's going to have a lot of screen time in this, apparently. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier,
Okay.
and Ant-Man. So those
Oh.
are your
Huh.
teams.
Okay.
Discuss. Tell me, Tony, what do you think?
Ant-Man's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see them put that together. I mean, it's really not, like you said, it's kind of underwhelming because at the end of Age of Ultron, you
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen it yet.
Well, and this.
Should I take off my headphones and you can tell me when I can listen again?
No, I don't think this is going to spoil anything for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just basically at the end of it, you have all these different people in the same room, and they're kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna continue on with this, and that's pretty much the group that he just pointed out with Captain America, him and Falcon, and those guys and stuff like that. So I mean, it's after seeing that, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I see how that, it's not a big surprise to me who's on this team, I guess.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Here's the thing. The reason I find it underwhelming is because, and I understand limitations, don't get me wrong, but when you read the comic, almost every single Marvel character that you can think of is involved in the Civil War.
Just like the Secret Wars series.
Including the Fantastic Four, which play a huge role, and Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man is going to be in this film in one way or another, so that is going to happen.
That's exciting.
And they're not showing what side he's going to...
exciting.
Yeah, they're not showing what side he's going to be on. But my point, the only reason I find it just a little underwhelming is because, there's 5 people on both teams, whereas the Marvel the Marvel universe, and I understand limitations, like I said, but the Marvel universe is just thousandfold that you could do,
Yeah. But you've got to like you said, you've got to streamline to a 2.5-hour movie. You've got a dozen characters with their own plot threads and motivations, and as much as people would love to incorporate every one of their favorite characters, there's only so much you can do and tell a coherent story.
I want to see Mondo. You guys remember Mondo?
Mondo.
I don't know Mondo.
He was a lesser known character, and at first I kind of thought maybe he was in X-Men 3. Because there was that dude that kind of the sticks came out of his arm, and he threw them at Wolverine and stuff like that. And I thought that was kind of reminiscent of Mondo, but Mondo blended into the trees and stuff. And he was he was a really cool character.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, I digress.
No, that's awesome. I know a lot of people wanted to see Mordok, which is a big floating head from the Iron Man comics mostly, but he's been in a lot of Marvels. But here's my whole point on this.
I want Peter Porker, the Amazing Spider-Ham.
Yeah. Nice.
I got my wife that for Christmas. I got her that for Christmas because she kept singing the Spider Pig song from the Simpsons movie.
You know what's funny, too, is that I was listening to someone talk about the Deadpool movie.
Oh, man. Oh, don't get me started on how cool that looks.
We could talk on that next, but it was funny because one guy was not a big fan of it, and he's like, what's going to happen? What's happening in the Deadpool comics right now? And it's like, well, there's Pig Pool, and there's Panda Pool, and it just these absurd, characters in his comics, and it's a lot of fun. But, no, when it comes to the Civil War stuff, what I'm looking forward to, because what I think makes most comic book movies, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is the villain. The Dark Knight would not be the Dark Knight if not for Heath Ledger's The Joker. I think everyone would agree with that. I think Bane made The Dark Knight Rises for a lot of people, which I'm a big fan of. And then you go back to the Avengers. Everybody loves Loki.
Yep.
Everybody loves Loki.
Gotta love Tom Hiddleston.
And also, a lot of people were hit and miss when it comes to... I actually liked Ultron. I'm trying to think of who...
James Spader.
James Spader, who portrayed him. But DC does not have a super great track record when it comes to villains. Their films, a lot of time, are villain of the week. I mean, Malekith from Thor 2, and basically just the government from The Incredible Hulk. They struggle a lot of times with that. I want to know how Daniel Bruhl is going to be Baron Zemo. Because Baron Zemo in the comic is a longtime villain of Captain America. He's got a rich history. He's got a real strong motivation. And I'm excited to see what he is going to do, how he is going to propel this story. Because you need your villains.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's one of those we'll have to wait and see things.
Thing about Ultron, I'm sorry. Thing about Ultron for me was, I think Spader did too much Heath Ledger in his voice. Like, everybody praised him for his acting in that movie, and when I heard him as Ultron, he sounded a lot like Ledger, and as the Joker, and it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. I really honestly think that they might have even been able to keep Spader, but I think he should have used a different voice because he sounded too Joker-ish for me.
See, I liked Spader as Ultron. I thought he did a good job. I liked the humor that he infused into the role. A lot of people said he was maybe too funny, and that's probably just a case of Joss Whedon's writing, because he likes to have that is one I think even you, Kurt, could criticize Joss Whedon, is he likes to make sure everyone is witty when he writes.
What's wrong with having smart, witty characters?
Because
I'm not going to criticize him for that.
Because not everyone is, Kurt.
Well, if you've ever watched Buffy or Angel, not every character on that series is witty. Sometimes they're unintentionally funny. That's not the same thing. So.
Yeah,
the characters are funny to us, but the characters aren't trying to be funny, although Joss is writing them to be funny to us for that reason, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, going back to the Deadpool trailer, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I let my 9-year-old watch it with me.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Whoops.
Right.
Whoops.
It was awesome. He loved it. And he was just like, I could not wait to watch it. I'm like, wow. Or,
in about 8 years.
you watched that. That's what you got to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
I thought it looked really, really, really good.
I love the fact that they are embracing the maturity of the character and the or I should say the mature audience that character and those comics are aimed at. I like that Marvel's not afraid. Oh, but we've got to be PG or PG-13.
Well, it's Fox, though. Fox owns Deadpool.
Do they?
Yep.
Okay, well, then that's fine. I'm glad Fox is also not wimping out, oh, we need it to be PG-13 or we'll never get an audience. It's baloney. No. You'll get the Deadpool audience who wants to see it, and you'll get all the other people who like comics who saw the trailer and were knocked out by how good it is. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, T.J. Miller is fantastic in what you see of him. Reynolds is really good, almost unrecognizable at times. It just looks amazing.
The only thing that I have to kind of gripe about the trailer for is the fact that some of the humor is very dated. Talking about Posh Spice and Rosie O'Donnell and stuff like that. I don't know.
That's probably the cleaner stuff that they left in. They're probably using alternate take dirtier jokes in the film.
Yeah, hopefully, because when you said Posh Spice, I was like, that's funny to me, but,
Well, I liked, when it comes to that trailer, the fourth wall breaking aspects of it. When Ryan Reynolds is laying on that table and they're talking about the procedure and the costume and everything, just don't make it green. Or cartoon, and it's in it, and you gotta. I would think Ryan Reynolds is a handsome man. Let's all agree on that, right?
Sure.
Oh, I absolutely.
He's a hunky dude.
Ryan Reynolds is a handsome man. He is a Hollywood elite, I would say, for the most part. He gets work. Not all of his movies are great, but if
he's not an A-lister, he's awfully close.
Yeah, exactly. I would call him an A-lister.
We'll forget Blade 3.
We'll also forget the Amityville Horror, but anyway.
You got to get paid.
Yeah, I said he gets work. Point is, this is a guy who's made some stinkers. He realizes it, and he has the humility and the know-with-all to allow himself to be made fun of. And like I said, a good-looking Hollywood A-lister who has that, I really want to believe he's a super down-to-earth guy. Otherwise, I'm not going to say this in this movie. That movie was great. Why are people just didn't get it?
Not only that, but I'm not going to be ugly when I'm on screen or entirely covered in a mask when I'm on screen.
That's absolutely true. And, you bring up an excellent point, too. And, Tony, feel free to talk about this movie if you've seen it. Dredd. The original Judge Dredd, where Sylvester Stallone plays Judge Dredd. He takes off his helmet almost immediately. You never see him in it. Carl Urban, he wears that helmet the entire movie. Yep. All you see is his face. All you see is his grunts, and he almost plays second fiddle in that movie to the lead actress in there. It's a
Dredd was was one of the most underrated, best action films of the last 20 years.
I'll high five you on that. You bet.
Oh, it was amazing. And the thing about Ryan Reynolds is, I mean, a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit. Is he's one of those guys that, he really, I mean, when he broke out with Van Wilder, that's one of the best, like up and coming actors that really did a lot of cool stuff afterwards and everything. And he's just, I mean, I still watch Van Wilder, still think it's funny, and I think he's really, really grown with it all, but he still just keeps it with it. So it's really good.
He's come a long way, that's for sure.
For sure, and the Deadpool film looks really, really good as well. Anything else we want to add before we sign off this week?
I really don't. I mean, like I sent you, I heard that they're trying to develop a Galaxy Quest TV series, and I loved Galaxy Quest, so hopefully that turns out okay.
That would be fun. Also, the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series is coming to Disney XD. So that'll be fun to watch.
There's also a trailer there's a new trailer for Supergirl out there, guys. You gonna watch it?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it just for fun.
I can't even hate watch it.
I really wish NBC didn't pull the plug on their terrible Wonder Woman pilot. I really wish they wouldn't have. I would like to see that crash and burn.
You just wanted to hate watch it, that's all.
That is definitely true. By the way, when does Gotham come back?
Not soon enough.
Clearly, it's been off for a long time.
Yeah, I think mid-September is when almost everything's coming back. So we're like 3 weeks away.
They just released a bunch of footage, like some upcoming stuff from the new season and everything. It looks really, really good, and it looks like they're teasing the Joker in there.
Yep.
So looks really, really cool.
Awesome. All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Completely Unoriginal. Be sure to check out Tony's YouTube channel. Tony, what's your YouTube channel again?
It's Tube Review. If you type in Tube Review, you'll get the phone book on YouTube. So type in Tube Review, then hit channels. It'll be the first one with me giving a thumbs up.
Awesome. All right. So that's going to do it for Completely Unoriginal. For Kurt Campbell and Adam St. Paul and Tony Zur, I'm Adam St. Paul. Until the next time.